Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Today's Murli is slightly connected to yesterday's blessing, where Baba was talking about experiencing that you have multi-million in every step. Every step that I take, I accumulate, right? Because if I make it worthwhile, if I use it in a best possible way, then I'm actually increasing the account of accumulation. And then Baba is also talking in today's Murli very, very powerfully how I can maintain a stage of constantly giving. Because sometimes when some things happen and some souls come in front of us, there are moments or times when we don't feel like it. But Baba is giving us very powerful yukti, and he's saying, become praiseworthy, become worthy of the praise that is sung of the deities, right? You all remember the praise. The praise is 16 celestial degrees complete, completely viceless, full of all virtues, the ones who follow the highest code of conduct, and the ones who consider non-violence as the supreme religion. So Baba is giving us yukti to remove weaknesses and become praiseworthy in this Murli by holding on to the awareness of being Nirakari, Alankari, and Kalyankari, which is the title of this Murli. So let's listen to Baba's version. This is the Murli of 15th of May, 1972. 15th of May, 1972. And the essence is the means to create the best position are three words: bodiless, nirakari, ornate, which is alankari, and benefactor, which is kalyankari. Do you take every step considering yourself to be multi-million times fortunate? A lotus flower is also called a padam, multi-million times. Only by being as loving and detached as a lotus flower at every step do you earn multi-millions at every step. Have you become such elevated souls? Have you become such elevated souls? Have you created both types of stage? You have multi-millions at every step, and so you have become the masters of so many treasures. Do you experience yourselves to be wealthy and prosperous and extremely lovely and unique? Check that not a single step is taken whereby you are not in the stage of a lotus and thereby do not earn multi-millions. So I have to experience this, that I am like a lotus, right? Very lovely, very unique, very detached, prosperous, healthy, wealthy, happy, like that. Baba is saying I have to constantly check whether I am in that stage of lotus or not. At this time, you become such multimillionaires, that is prosperous with the imperishable wealth. And so throughout the whole Kalpa, you are remembered as the most prosperous ones. Throughout the whole Kalpa, you are remembered as the most prosperous ones. For half the Kalpa, you claim a right to the constant kingdom of the world. When you're in the golden age and silver age, we have the right to the constant kingdom. Baba is saying the kingdom where there are no obstacles. And then for half the Kalpa, the Bhagats sing praise of your stage. When any Bhagat experiences something lacking in his life, to whom does he go? To the images of your memorials. Whilst attaining a temporary attainment from the images, he continues to finish his weaknesses. Right? So they will go to temple, they will ask for some blessings, right? And those attainments actually help them to finish their weaknesses. So Baba is saying, so for the entire Kalpa, you become the images that are constantly prosperous, powerful, virtuous, and that grant blessings. For the entire Kalpa, we are the ones who become prosperous, powerful, virtuous, and the ones that grant blessings. When you take even one step or create one thought, do you move along whilst stabilizing yourself in such a stage? That is, whilst stabilizing yourself in your elevated form. When a king of limited looks at his kingdom, in what stage and with what vision would he look at it? With what intoxication would he look at it? All these are my subjects, and that they are like my children, right? We have seen, no, in some historical dramas or movies that how a king looks at his subjects and he has this fatherhood feeling that these are my children, these are my subjects, I have to protect them, like that. So Baba is saying this is the vision they have, this is the intoxication they have, even though they are kings of the limited. So, in the same way, when you people look at the world now, or when your vision is drawn towards another soul, what do you think when you look at them? What do you think when you look at them? Do you think, what has the world of which we were the masters become today? And now we children of the master of the world, M capital, which means Shiv Baba in this case. So now we children of the master of the world are once again making the world prosperous, wealthy, and constantly happy. Do you stabilize yourself in this intoxication and see every soul with this form, with this vision, and with this attitude? So you have to see that I am the child of the master of the world, right? And so with this intoxication, I stabilize myself in this stage and see every soul as Baba's child, see every soul with the vision and attitude of serving like the king, right? In what stage do you stabilize yourself when you look at any soul? What is your stage at that time? And so in the gathering, each one gave his own opinion. Whatever each of you spoke is correct, because now you have left everything wrong. Whatever you speak will be correct. Now, even incorrect words cannot emerge through your lips. When you look at any soul, have the attitude that Baba has made you instruments to be the images that grant blessings and to be the bestowers for those souls. Baba has made you instruments to be the images that grant blessings and to be the bestowers for those souls. By looking at them with the attitude of being the images that grant blessings and the great bestowers, you will not deprive any soul of any blessing or of great donation. You will not deprive, meaning you will not go without giving them something, or they will not go away from you without receiving something from you. Baba is saying when anyone comes in front of souls who are images that grant blessings and the great bestowers, then that soul will definitely receive one thing or another from such souls who are bestowers. None will ever be sent back empty handed. So, by your having such an attitude, when any soul comes in front of you, he will not go back empty handed. So, attitude is that Baba has made me instrument to grant blessings and to be bestowers. So, if I am the one who is an image that grant blessings and am a bestower, then Baba is saying no one will go back empty handed. So, by your having such an attitude, when any soul comes in front of you, he will not go back empty handed. He will definitely go back having attained something. So, do you look at every soul whilst considering yourselves to be this? The children of the bestower are bestowers themselves. When anyone comes to the Father, he will not send them back empty handed. In the same way, follow the Father. In the physical way, also, you never send anyone back without a gift as a souvenir. You definitely give them something or another as a gift. Why has this physical system continued? Together with the subtle task, in order to remind them easily, you have created this method. So, just as you think that no one should go back without a physical gift, in the same way, have the aim that each one should go back having attained at least something. Only then will they come into the kingdom of your world. Those who become righteous and constantly great donors through their vision, attitude, and karma can become the masters of the world. Those who become righteous and constantly great donor through their vision, attitude, and karma can become the masters of the world. So you should constantly have such a stage, that is, you should constantly move along whilst considering yourself to be wealthy. And for this, Baba is saying, remember three words. By remembering these three words, you will constantly and naturally have this awareness. What are these three words? Constantly incorporeal, Nirakari, one with all the ornaments, Alankari, and the benefactor, Kalyankari. If you remember these three words, then you can constantly create your elevated stage, whether in your thoughts, whether in your actions, or whether in service. You can create an elevated stage in all three: thoughts, actions, and service. When you come into action, check yourself. Am I moving along while constantly considering myself to be an image with all ornaments? Alankari. The image that has all ornaments does not have any arrogance of the body. Arrogance finishes by having all the ornaments. You remember your ornaments, right? They show discus, and lotus flower, mace, and there is one more, right? So they show in the hand of the Vishnu, there is discus, there is lotus flower, there is mace, and what is the fourth one?
Shell. Conch shell.
Shell, yeah, conch. They show the conch shell. Thank you. So Baba is saying that these are your ornaments, and do you remember them? Do you look after yourself that you're fully decorated by all these ornaments? So Baba is saying arrogance finishes by having all the ornaments. Therefore, constantly look at your ornaments. Is my discus of self realization spinning? If the discus of self realization is constantly spinning, you will not be caught up in the many different spins of Maya. Now, you can save yourselves from all other types of spinning by spinning the discus of self realization. So, no wastage, right? No form of wastage when I spin the discus. And that's what yesterday's blessing was about, that I will constantly move along, experiencing success. So, Baba is saying constantly check that your discus of self realization is spinning. If you do not have one of the ornaments, it means that one or another power is missing from all the powers, because each ornament represents a power, right? If you do not have all the powers, then you cannot have liberation from all weaknesses and all obstacles. Because when there is no weapon to fight against Maya, then weaknesses and obstacles will create a bondage. Baba is saying when something becomes a reason for a lack of success in overcoming obstacles, whether in your old sanskars or in service, and because of that reason you get caught up with any obstacle, then understand that the reason for not attaining liberation is a lack of power. So if I am not having a particular power, then I experience lack of success. Baba is saying, if you want liberation from the obstacles, then imbibe power. If you want liberation from the obstacles, then imbibe power, that is, stay as the image that has all the ornaments. You do not consider yourselves to be the images that have all the ornaments as you move along. You let go of the ornaments. And without power, you have the desire for mukti. And so, how could that be fulfilled? So, the way to get mukti or experience liberation is to have all the powers. To have all the powers means to be constantly decorated with these ornaments. Without that, Baba is saying, the desire for liberation cannot be fulfilled. This is why you should perform every task while constantly keeping all these three words in your consciousness at all the times. By adopting these ornaments, you will constantly consider yourselves to be Vaishnavas. You will become part of the clan of Vishnu in the future anyway. But if you become a Vaishnav now, then you will become part of the clan of Vishnu in the kingdom of Vishnu. You will become part of the clan of Vishnu. That means you'll come in the royal family, right? So Baba is saying a Vaishnav is one that does not touch anything dirty. The Vaishnavas of today are Vaishnavas in terms of physical, tamasic things. But elevated souls, you elevated souls, those who are constantly Vaishnavas, cannot even touch tamoguni thoughts or tamoguni sanskars. That means Baba is saying, physically speaking, those who consider themselves to be Vaishnavas by birth, they only think about physical cleanliness. But for us, spiritually speaking, we have to be so careful that not even negative thoughts or tamoguni sanskars of others can disturb me or can touch me or can influence me, right? It cannot happen. If you do touch any thought or any sanskar, that is, if you imbibe them, then are you true Vaishnavas? Those who do not become true Vaishnavas cannot become the masters of the world in the kingdom of Vishnu. So check yourselves to see to what extent you have become Vaishnavas for all time. So today's definition, and Baba will actually explain more. But for now, the first definition is that I cannot touch any tamoguni thoughts or tamoguni sanskars. Those who belong to the Vaishnav clan will not allow anyone dirty to touch them. They move away from those who are dirty. That is something physical. But the true Vaishnavas would not allow old things of the past, that is, the old world, or anything or anyone of the old world, to touch their intellect. Anything, anyone of the old world, including the past. Right? So Sometimes people are so disturbed by their own past. Sometimes people are disturbed by what's going on in the world. And so Baba is saying, but this, if something is disturbing you, something is influencing you, something is touching you and affecting you, then that is like leaving the throne of being a true Vaishnav, right? So Baba is saying they will remain distant from others. So become Vaishnavs like them. For instance, if true Vaishnavs are touched by someone, even by mistake, then they go and take a bath. They try to make themselves pure. In the same way, if any old tamoguni thoughts or sanskars touch you because of your weaknesses, then you should especially bathe in knowledge. That is, you should especially remember the Father with the intellect and have a heart to heart conversation, right? So if I am going in front of Baba, if I read some Murli, if I remember Baba, right, and let Baba know that this thought emerged or this sanskar emerged, whatever, through my conversation with him, what will happen through this? Baba is saying, those tamoguni sanskars will never touch you and you will become pure. By making yourselves pure, you will have the sanskars of the pure form. You will have the sanskars of the pure form. The eternal and the original form is the pure form. And those sanskars of being a point of light, Nirakari, and then the one who is Alankari, those sanskars will emerge, right? Do you do this? That means if you have any tamoguni thought or sanskar or past emerges or old world something pulls, then do you do this? Do you go in front of Baba and make yourself pure? You say, I don't know how this happened. Baba says it is your own weakness, is it not? You should have that much power that no one is able to touch you. If someone is powerful, then weak ones are not able to say even one word in front of that one. They, meaning the weak ones, cannot come in front of them, the powerful ones. On the path of ignorance, no one can come in front of those who are bossy. Here you have spiritual intoxication. So change bossiness into spiritual intoxication. Then no one will have the strength to touch you. Nature will become the servant of all of you in the future. And that is the stage of perfection, is it not? Since nature can become a servant, can you not make your old sanskars your servant? Servants and maids constantly say, Yes, my lord. In the same way, these weaknesses will also be standing there, saying, Yes, my lord. They will not touch you. Are you creating such a stage for all time? Baba is asking, Where have you reached now? In your stage, where have you reached now? Is it a question of today or tomorrow? What will you say? That we have reached there, or we are reaching there, or we will reach there? Baba is saying, is it a question of any moment, or is it a question of years? Actually, it's a question of any moment. At any moment, I see myself, I should experience this stage, no, where all my weaknesses, my old sanskars, everything are like my servants now. Nobody has the power to disturb me. Baba is saying there is a lot of difference in today or tomorrow and in any moment. So each one can check for themselves, right? What is that um, for me? What is this question? Is it a question of today, tomorrow, or any moment? Then Baba is saying the wonder of a teacher is that he makes all others into teachers. Are you not a teacher? Since you have to become your own teacher, can you not know the result? You have to perform this task of making others the same as the Father. How can you be a teacher if you do not make others into teachers? If you do not move along having become your own teacher, then you will not be able to attain the stage of perfection. Those who do not become their own teacher are constantly weak, because a teacher means a checker, right? So I have to constantly check myself. Only when I am able to check myself, find out my weaknesses, correct them, subtly make those corrections, then I can say that I have become my own teacher. And so that's why Baba is saying that you have to first become your own teacher if you want to attain the stage of perfection. Otherwise, if I'm not able to check myself, there will not be any realization. There won't be any change. And so the weaknesses will remain. So Baba is saying those who do not become their own teacher are constantly weak. Constantly check that you have become worthy of the praise that is sung of you. So deities, no? We're becoming deities. And the praise that is sung of the deities is that they are 16 celestial degrees full of all virtues, completely viceless. They follow highest code of conduct, and they consider non-violence to be their supreme religion. So Baba is saying constantly check that you have become worthy of the praise that is sung of you. Check each aspect in your own self. Each aspect meaning I have to check, am I 16 celestial degrees complete? Am I full of all virtues? Am I completely viceless? Like that. Baba is saying, check each aspect in your own self. Are you the elevated beings who follow the highest code of conduct? Do you have in a practical way the complete praise of being completely viceless, complete with all virtues, and completely non-violent? If there are any weaknesses, then by removing those weaknesses, you will become praiseworthy. So simple. Baba is saying that you just remove the weaknesses. You will become praiseworthy. Acha, to the children who are constantly the true Vaishnavas, the luckiest and the highest children, namaste. Om Shanti. So let's take a moment of silence and then we can perhaps share some points. Okay, Om Shanti, everyone. Anyone feels inspired to share what touched your heart? I was just
Shanti,
thinking
sister.
how. Yes, go ahead, Vinod Bhai.
Yeah. Thank you, sister. I was wondering how Baba supports each of his children when they are alone, when they are, I mean, probably amongst so many people that he or she can't just be identified. Just like a person in a market where everybody is in a busy, hurry state of life. And still, how can one be identifying oneself? That's like being in self-respect. Baba talks about being a Kamal Pushp, being detached and yet in his own self-respect. And that gives the sense of existence when the person is there doing his job. And second thing that touched me was the thought of substitution. That is, Baba is quoting the example of Vaishnav taking a bath every time any other person touches him or her. So Baba gives the example of taking a bath of knowledge that replaces the old pattern of thinking or the thought and then come out pure and fresh. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah. I also love this point of how Baba is making us into true Vaishnavas. And it's not like just physically not touching something, but really at the thought level, at the level of sanskars, I have to change. Even at the level of feelings, I would say that this transition or transformation has to happen. Thank you for sharing.
Om Shanti, sister. Just
Om
to
Shanti.
continue, just to continue with this beautiful Murli thought of the Vaishnav and how your thought itself has to be pure. And now when we add it to the other part of the Murli, which was talking about how you look at all the souls around you as your children and actually have the same feeling, the same unconditional love towards them, the purity, I think that makes the whole difference in the vibration. And that can help us and help them as well. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Yeah, it's very powerful to look everyone as, like these are my people. They're not strangers or they're not just anyone out there, but these are my people, my Baba's children. Mhm. So it's interesting that Baba said if you have this attitude, then you will be able to be constant donor. Constant word is important because it's not that we don't give or we don't bestow. We do. Yeah, we all are doing yoga. We all do mansa seva. We all give. But there are one or two souls that they come in front of us and we don't feel like doing anything. Of course, we don't give bad, but how much do we give good to them? And so Baba is kind of telling us this very powerful yukti that just see them as the children of God or my own children, but also he gave us the other tool that see yourself as the image that grant blessings, and then you will not have any thought. Yeah, thank you.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
The way Baba really takes us, he knows this soul, which he has picked in the conference age, has gone through all the ages of the copper ages. And we have gone through all these isms, Shaivism, Shaktism, Jainism, and even Vishnuism, Vaishnavism. So how Baba really takes, he knows those knowledge, all that is still there in some remote part of our soul, and how he just metamorphizes it into knowledge, and then he makes it, use it relevant to the knowledge, what he wants to say. Like I like yesterday's Murli, lovely the way that Baba speaks about everything for the self, your service to the self. But today Baba wants me to think of my decorations. Like he's saying, you are bodiless, of course, but you are an ornate. You are the ones who wear the decorations because they have no power. Then go out to the world to benefact. Like these the decorations even, Baba has given, like if you see whether it's the mirror, it's the chakra, as you said, it's for spinning the discus, even though in Vaishnavism it was for cutting heads, it's for spinning the discus of self-realization. And Baba mentions the lotus, again in our knowledge, it is purity. Then blowing the conch shell, like the bumblebee giving knowledge, and the mace to conquer ego. So when he says, am I a true Vaishnava? So if I have these four ornaments, Maya, impurity, cannot touch me. It's not like those kind of, like when we were young, we remember when they used to have this, they said, don't touch, or I have to go and have a bath. It's not like that kind, that subtle kind of authority which Vaishnavism gives is what Baba like. So I always love to decorate myself in this. That's the being a true Vaishnava. I love the decorations of Vishnu. So it was a Murli for me, probably touching what we wear in the copper age.
Om Shanti. Thank you.
Oh, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Yeah, so the line that touched me, many couple of lines. Yeah, just one thing I will share. So Baba said that when anyone comes in front of us, right, we should become an image that grant blessings, right, become a bestower and give something. No one should leave empty-handed. They should have the feeling that they've attained something. So not everyone, those who come before us, will be ready to take the knowledge. But if they are not willing to take the knowledge, then at least we should be ready to give them some power. Without, that's something they will be forced to take it. I mean, their willingness is not required there. So something to be given. Thank you. That's my takeaway.
Thank you. Yeah. And it's not necessary, what we want to give. It's like what they want also. We have to think like that. Because everyone wants peace. Everyone wants love, right? Everyone wants.
Right. Another one is imbibing power. Baba said, if you're powerful, then the weak souls will not be able to come in front of you. And then,
yes.
So effort is to keeping ourselves powerful throughout.
Right.
In continuation to this.
Yes, sister, go ahead.
Just in continuation to what Vijit Bhai was sharing, Baba's used the word today that change your bossiness to spiritual intoxication, and that will allow you to grant or bestow blessings on others. At the same point of time, because you have been in spiritual intoxication, the weakest souls will not be able to come in front of you. So Baba just connected the Lokik space and the Alokik space of how to manage coming out of the bossiness. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, just sharing one reflection is the interconnection between Nirakari, Alankari, and Kalyankari. These three forms actually they are interconnected. The power is produced by Nirakari stage, the incorporeal stage. When we are detached like a lotus, we are detached from the outer world and the body consciousness. Then the pure 100% perfect stage is the Nirakari stage. And this power then manifests itself in the ornate stage, Alankari stage, where the four ornates, the four Alankars are used practically, and then Once it is done, then we can be Vishwa Kalyankari, we can be the benefactors. Om Shanti.
Yeah, it's a good sharing. Thank you. It kind of covers the soul that plays part in the whole cycle. I'm in my home, in my Nirakari stage, and then I come into the golden age and I am Alankari, and then when I come in the copper age onwards, I am actually Kalyankari, even through the form of being an image that grants blessings, whether it's living or non-living form, right? Whether we are in the confluence age or whether we are in the copper age. So it's covering the entire cycle. Okay, anyone else? Okay, no other thoughts?
Om Shanti, good morning, everyone. I like the point where my Shiv Baba says that if you do not have any ornaments, then that means you have weaknesses and obstacles. So we need to check and change now and then. And this also means that lack of power means lack of success. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Sister, can I just ask a small clarification?
Sure. Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, one word which Baba mentions, I know Baba is speaking that about arrogance of the body, but what does he say when he says arrogance finishes by having all the ornaments? So I was just trying to link the, what was that, just that one sentence, arrogance finishes by having all the ornaments. And before that he says, the image that has all ornaments does not have any arrogance of the body. Just the second sentence I was thinking, how can just by having ornaments, all kind of arrogance, how can I finish the ahankar?
Mm. Yeah, it's a very nice question. Actually, when you can have ornaments, like when you are a real lotus flower, that means you're completely detached. You're very loving, you're unique. And that stage of detached and loving is stage like Baba, right? And there will be no arrogance in that stage, but when you attain that stage, that's when you get the ornament. You don't get the ornament just because you're thinking about the ornament, right? Practically you're doing something, you are actually staying detached from this world, and so that allows you to adorn that ornament, if you will. Similarly, if you look at the example of discus, then you don't get the discus just because you say, oh, I have the discus, but you actually have practiced spinning the discus. You have spun it so many times that now you have become what you are in that form, whether it's a form of point of light, whether it's the form of a deity, whether it's form of an angel, whatever form it is, you have become that. And to become that, you will not have any arrogance when you are in your deity form or when you are in your Brahmin form or angel form, right? So emerging those ornaments means actually emerging those powers or those sanskars that are related with that ornament. It can be a deep, conversational kind of a topic, or a whole buffer day can be used to kind of understand these ornaments, because each ornament has connection with virtues, connection with powers, connection with the stage, right? To become Vishnu is like to become your perfect form. So to become Vishnu means to have all these ornaments. So in that sense, if you think a little bit and if you churn a little bit, then you'll understand that you will not have arrogance if you have those ornaments with you.
Thank you, sister. I think that's what Baba mentions for we Brahmins, because I have always seen these Vaishnavites, they really hold their head high and they are very, very particular about the ornaments they wear, everything. Like even women Vaishnavite wear. So I was just relating it to it. But now I think Baba mentions for me, his child. Om Shanti. I understand.
Thank you. If anyone wants to add, you can add. We can just take a couple more minutes. And then I think we'll go into meditation.
Shanti sister, I was again wondering how Baba gives such a wonderful yukti of bestowing it to others. That is, once here in Baba school, we all learn that we should connect the other soul to the supreme soul and not to us. That's kind of a liberty, a mantra to freedom for self as well. Because no matter how many creations we create, it's impossible for looking that after bit by bit. Instead, the way Baba says, connect the soul, bestow the soul with knowledge, and then Baba is the person who will sustain that soul, give nourishment, and let it continue. This thought was flowing through me as Baba was saying, bestow everybody with something. So, in real sense, what else could we give other than probably good wishes and blessings and yukti and maximum? That is what, unless it's too poor a soul to require more. That was the thought process. Thank you. Om Shanti.
Thank you. Yeah. All right. Shall we do some meditation?
Yes, sister.
I sit comfortably and I immerse the knowledge in my intellect, holding it in my awareness so that I can practically imbibe the teachings of my beloved Father. I see myself just like Baba sees me. He sees me as the most fortunate one, the luckiest and the highest, the great soul. I am a true Vaishnav. And in this pure consciousness, I create this powerful determination within myself that my every thought will be in complete alignment with Baba's Srimad. My every sanskar will be in complete alignment with Baba's sanskars. My vision, I hold it just as Baba holds it for everyone. My every word that emerges through the mouth is the word that uplifts and encourages, words that bring enthusiasm and inspiration into the lives of others. My every action is for the service of the self and service of others. And with this pure awareness, for just few minutes, I allow my intellect to connect with Baba's intellect. I allow my mind to be in connection with Baba's mind. I draw into myself the powers, the unlimited rays of light and light that Baba is radiating. The master of the world is making me into a master. I absorb Baba's light, Baba's knowledge, Baba's powers, Baba's sanskars into myself. Truly, I become an image that grants blessings. I become so full that I begin to overflow. And very naturally, I'm able to cooperate and donate these powers to the souls of my family, to the souls of this world. I absorb only that which Baba gives, nothing of the past, nothing of any one or anything of the old world touches me. Only Baba's influence acts upon me. Only Baba's Murli touches me. Only Baba's light and might touches me. So see yourself under the canopy of God's light and might. And when this influence is so active and powerful, then nothing else can really touch me. I am a true Vaishnava. I am pure. And I am being liberated from all the weaknesses. With this pure consciousness, I now return back to the physical awareness of this body and this world around me. And soon I will be pulled into the field of the action. Yet, I will choose to constantly maintain the awareness that I am a true Vaishnava, and only Baba's light and might can have an influence on me. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Tina Ben. Thank you, Divine Family. See you tomorrow at 5 a.m. Till that time, have a good day.
Om Shanti, everyone.